Good evening, good afternoon. This is Hejin Lee with an evening update for Bitcoin. So it's been a thank God it's Friday moment today. Very busy. Been on the phone quite a bit. And during the day, the price action seems interesting. There was a bit of a turn in the price. And that's already getting people a little bit upset. One of the biggest lessons that one has to clearly learn, and this is an ongoing lesson for anyone, and that has to do with emotion. Because quite often your emotion will get the better of you and cause you to sell low, buy high and sell low. And that's something that you really want to avoid as much as possible. So in this case, we have a bit of a price turn, and that's already getting people a little bit upset. And once you get proficient in technical analysis so that you are able to hold your own ground, count your own Elliott wave counts, let's say, and proficiently do your chart patterning and conduct an analysis of primary and alternates so that almost whatever happens, you're not frazzled, you're not unnerved, you remain calm and serene because you have confidence in your analysis and you don't go running around looking for answers from somebody else except yourself. That is the way to do it. I mean, as I've said often, I've failed a lot, tonnages of failures. And whenever the price took a dive or went against me, I'd run around, I'd read as many news, read as many gurus, find someone who has an analysis that I would like to see. And that's not a good way to go about doing it. That doesn't make you money, it brings your account to zero. And there may be a good number of concerns nowadays, especially if you're new to this, in how to set your stops and also when to take a loss, when to buy more, when to buy the dip, when to sell any retracements up, how do you call a top. So all of those things are nuances that they're not always black and white. They are nuances where you have to rely on Elliott waves, chart pattern, and experience. Over this weekend, I will try to find a time to post a video on how to set stops. I know that's a very common question for many of you, and I can share with you the way I do it. And it's not the best way out there probably, but it's the way I do it. And I try to embed my stops into the Elliott waves as well as into the chart patterns. And I'll do a video on that over the weekend hopefully Sunday when I get some time. And from that, hopefully it'll answer a good number of questions that many of you might have, especially the newbies, people who are new to technical analysis. And I can already sense many of you getting nervous from this, because it's not going as expected like this. And that doesn't faze me in any way whatsoever. I used to get all nervous. I used to sit in front of the computer and stare at the whole thing, every tick I would look at. There's no happiness to be found in doing that. And I realized that. So when I first tried to do this and I day traded using hourly and 15-minute charts, it was insane for me. I just couldn't make profit, net profit. I'll have a few winning trades, but I just couldn't make sustainable net profits. So then, as you notice, I primarily go fine detail in the hours, but I trade mostly in the daily charts. And I'll show you a little more details on that on the Sunday video that I post on that too. So here, we drew a channel Okay, and this was a channel from the prior low, not the prior correction, but the prior low from which it rose. Now some are calling this double tops, and I don't agree with that. I don't think this is a double top in any way whatsoever. I think anyone who calls this double top is missing out on a very significant information. And that is this. If this was the top, let's say, if someone is calling whoever, I don't know who, but I've heard in my comments someone commenting that this might be a double top, or someone says this is calling a double top. If they are calling a double top, whoever that person might be, and I couldn't care less who it is, but I don't agree with it, they are blind and uninformed to this extremely bullish setup of just about every altcoin out there. If Bitcoin is in a double crash, you're saying that there's going to be a major crash, double top. Double tops are not small indicators. Double tops are indicators of sizable 30, 40, 60, maybe even 80% crashes. And that is uninformed statement, inexperienced conclusion of chart reading, because they are not completely ignoring this species of downward pointing, very extremely bullish altcoins. And this means to me the background setting is that we've got a very bullish environment going on across the cryptosphere for altcoins. And in that background, Bitcoin cannot crash. So this is a downward pointing, very bullish symmetrical triangle. Just about, I can show you another 40 of these with the very uncanny similarity indexes in pattern and projected upward Elliott wave price pathways. They are also uninformed about this pattern too. They're completely ignoring it, or they just don't understand, or they're not able to connect this with that and realize and understand the jaws of wealth pattern is just starting to lift off, as you can see. In this scenario of this jaws of wealth pattern, Bitcoin is not going to do a double top and crash. Those who are calling for a double top are further uninformed of the third species of this extremely bullish setups across the cryptosphere in altcoins, the cup and handle setups. I can probably show you another dozen more of this type, and probably another dozen on top of that if I've searched throughout the cryptosphere for every altcoin in their patterns, which I haven't done yet. Not even close, amongst the hundreds out there. So there are three primary species of an extremely bullish setup: the chalices of wealth, the cup and handles, that are just starting to get out. I mean, Steam haven't had a chance yet. It will. And we're seeing these poppings already happening now. In this background of this type of chalices of wealth, jaws of wealth, downward pointing symmetrical triangle bullish patterns, this is not a double top, in my opinion. We may get a correction. It may go down and hit the support line here, which is around 72.30, let's say. But to say this is a double top means you're going to see a 30, 40, 60% crash from here. And if you're only calling for whatever it is, I don't know who, a small correction from a double top, that's not a double top. That's not how a double top works. But I don't care about what the pattern is here. I don't see any other analyst out there mentioning the three species of the bullish cryptosphere altcoin background environment, the stage you set for cryptosphere to take off within the altcoins. in this mode of species, the jaws of wealth and the chalices of wealth, they will not allow Bitcoin to crash. In fact, the way I see it, I was going to save until maybe Saturday night or Sunday. I believe it will be the altcoins that will give the ultimate signal of a market top for Bitcoin. What I'm saying is that it will be the altcoins, after these start popping and start climbing, skyrocketing, and start reaching their tops, wherever those tops might be, for both the chalices of wealth. Once the jaws of wealth prices start hitting the tops here of the upper trend line, and once the downward pointing symmetrical triangles start making all-time new highs and higher highs, and when we count those waves, not here, but much higher, let's say, and it starts petering out and the bias starts disappearing, that is when Bitcoin will start topping, in my opinion. Until then, there will be a phasic and non-phasic relationship between Bitcoin and altcoins. Sometimes they will be inverse to each other between altcoins and Bitcoin. Sometimes they will concur and move together. That's what I mean by non-phasic when they're inverse, and phasic or in phase in the cycle when they move together. For a while, in fact, Bitcoin Cash was in phase with Bitcoin. Now they are inverse. And a good analogy of that phase and out of phase, or phasic and non-phasic, is if you ever stop at a traffic light and at nighttime and two cars are turning left in front of you and they both have the blinkers on, and you stare at their blinking yellow indicator lights, in the beginning they may be out of sync. But if you keep looking at it, after a little while, they become in sync and they in phase, and they start blinking a few times together, and then they go out of sync again, non-phasic. That's pretty much what's happening when I say Bitcoin and altcoins are phasic and non-phasic. That's why you're seeing sometimes when Bitcoin's going down, the altcoins are going up, and vice versa. But again, back to the three primary species, the bull species within the altcoins will not. I find it extremely difficult to see that these indicators are happening on a very extremely bullish scale in a very high similarity index, and yet for a double top to be happening. No freaking way. So, having said that, you might say, what the hell is going on here then, Hedgen? Good question. For that, let's go do a little more higher resolution. I had said that 3, 4, and we should be hitting over here. We didn't. And I'm calling here for 1. This is for wave 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was looking for 5 right here. If you go back to the higher resolution, 1, 2, we're working on 3. Okay. Now here too I drew a channel. And I'm thinking if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, well, I think the 4 will move out here. Why? Why would I? But you say, oh, about hedging, it broke the trend line. I'm getting nervous. You have to put it into a perspective that is not out of fear. You cannot trade and invest from the point of confusion and fear and emotion. So what if it breaks this? In fact, I'm going to get rid of this. All right. Now let's look at this price pattern. So it went 1, 2, and now I'm going to count 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counts beautifully here, subways of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. So what does that mean? 1's done, 2's done, 3's done, 4 is next. I thought maybe this was 4. Apparently not, because it morphs into something else. And that's clearly possible. I thought 3 was right here. So let's say, okay, you say, hedging, you said the best time to buy is at the terminal end. You'll ladder in here. Let's say you do the laddering right here. Let's say you did a laddering right here. And you better have some more laddering below it. That's how you have to have a better encompassment. Okay. It only means if you have lower rungs here and you wanted to get in here but you have lower rungs, your lower rungs will get filled. And let's say you've cast this ladder already like this. I'll cut this resistance in half, like that. I've got one more rung to be filled soon. Yes, I can get it at a better price. Yes. That is the emotion that you should be having. Not the worry and concern that it broke the trend line. But if you look at the Elliott wave analysis, and if you are able to do this by studying and practicing that book, and studying and practicing the self-labeling on solo, and posting it in the comments so that I can coach you on it, and also fully understand and practice the laddering techniques. When the price is going, when you first get in here, you're thinking, I'm feeling good, price is going up. Oh, now price is going down. Okay, but you know what? I've got lower rungs. Please come down. Give me a better price, baby. Boom. Thank you. Give me another one. Boom. I'm about to get another one. Yes. That is the psychology and the emotion that you should harbor as an investor and a trader. Confidence, discipline, understanding, and not run around listening to other analysts and who tell you to do this. Someone tells you to do that. Another analyst says to do this until you get a pile of doo-doos. That's not the way to make massive profits. That is a way to lose massive amounts of money. So, as I will never give up in saying, go to any one of my blogs to the very end. Here are my tutorials. Elliott Wave Tutorial 1 and 2. And I just recorded a third one which will be posted. Has already been posted, but it will be linked in the upcoming blogs. Study and fully understand and practice laddering techniques, my buy-sell setups. If you watch this video, you will fully understand a lot better when and how to set your stops. In fact, I pretty much covered it there. Buy and sell setups. Watch it, understand it. If you have any questions, post in the comments. I am very active in the comments. I give a full laddering example with EOS. I give a full tutorial with a lot of details on the Fibonacci and Elliott waves and how they work, how they interact, how they are applied. Equally important, purchase these 2 books. I am overjoyed when I see any one of you post a picture of unpackaged book that comes in. That is your step towards gaining self-proficiency. I'm not here to spoon-feed anybody. I'm not here to be the go-to person where you say, do this, do that, and I just follow what you say. No, that's useless. I'm only here to help, and that's not helping. That's enabling you to fail. So please review these, buy the books, and study. And follow me on Twitter for real-time alerts. So if you were going to get ladder in here, in fact, okay, even if you didn't have a ladder, you're seeing this turn and morph into something else, I might even cast a couple ladders, a few rungs to catch good prices. This is a case of buy the dip, BTFD. All right, so let's get rid of this for now. And you might think, what if it goes to 7,200? Oh my God. What if it keeps going down, down, down? If it does, okay, I mean, that is not a reason to panic. If you rely then on your Elliott wave analysis, which needs to be updated, if that's the case, what I would then do is, clearly what's happening is this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the cynics of Elliott wave come in and say, yeah, you gotta account for every failure you've got. If you want to come from the perspective of negativity, there is no happiness to be found in there. And I assure you, you will find no other better way. Because when you are so negative and don't even give a chance, a real chance on a technique and a method, or willing to open up to be taught that, there's no way you will grow your account, your net liquidity, to a massive level. You have to be open-minded. But you have to also have mastered the technique of labeling so that you can adapt and be very flexible and understand and peek around the corner. It's not easy. I think it's simple, but not easy. Anyone can count to 5. Anyone can say ABC and ABCDE, but the application is the key. And I had a coaching session today with a young fellow, smart guy, and it'll only be a matter of, let's say, 10, 20, or whatever coaching sessions where we continuously, repetitively go through the counts, setups, situationals, applications, where then he'll begin to gaining proficiency and self-proficiency and later on mastery. So, what we can say here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at this wave. This is 3 wave-ish. This is 3 wave-ish. This is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice impulse looking. So I'm seeing kind of a 3 wave-ish here, 3 wave-ish, 3 wave-ish. So I think we are looking at maybe ABC. 3, 3, 5. That's what we're looking at. Okay. So if this is 3, 3, 5, what 3, 3, 5, what kind of a correction is that? It's called a flat. Remember in the bigger correction we had an A, B, C expanded flat, right? Where B was higher than the prior peak and C was clearly much lower than the low of A. That was an expanded flat. In this case, I believe what we are saying is a regular flat, 3, 3, 5. In fact, I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to label the subwaves. A, B, C. Okay. I'll label the primary ones first, sorry. That's ABC, a regular flat. And now I'll label the subwaves of A, A, B, C. And this will be ABC, so 3, 3, ABC, and then we have wave C. So here, if this is wave C has 5 waves, right? Let's see if we can count 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's technically correct. But instead of 5 waves down, what we can also see is a potential contracting triangle. A, B, C, D, E. That is possible as well, but I would prefer to label as 5, because most C waves of a flat would be a 5 wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's possible the 5 is here, as I had labeled it earlier, but I'd rather have, and because, well, let me go back there, explain better. If 1 is extended, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 0.681 of 1, which is about here. About makes sense. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one possibility. But I'm thinking this correction has a little more to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, about hedging, what if it just goes down and down and down? Then it goes down, down, down. We have to remodify and readjust the count. But it looks 3 waveish to me. I have to move this to the right because time has elapsed. So then from here, we can then I need to move this more to the right. We can then expect prices to ramp up. Like that. That's what I would project. Is it possible that it can go lower? Yes. Do I have an alternate account for that? Yes, but I won't present it right now because for most newbies to Elliott waves, it'll just cause confusion and maybe even more anxiety than anything else. So I think overnight we should see a bottom, maybe even a spike down. Now let's look at support zones. It's sitting in support in this cloud of support right here. The next support, the reason why I put it here, the next support zone is in this cloud of zone. In fact, I'll lower it a little bit. Now here is the prior wave 4 of a lesser degree, right here in this zone.
which is where I'm putting the wave 5, the end of this ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in this case, wave 1, I want to make sure that the 3 is not the shortest. I think 3 can even go further down. There you go. That wave 5 will be in the zone of price or prior wave 4 of lesser degree. Let's see if that works. Can I go down lower than that? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. But possible is not the same as probable. This is a healthy correction. It went all the way up from 5,415. Let's make it 5,400. Have one correction, small, 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 all the way up to 8,024. Okay? And then to be nervous about a healthy correction, in fact, you should have been expecting a healthy correction. On a longer term scale, if this goes to 71, 7,200, it'll touch right here, or maybe it'll blip right below a little bit the trend line. So what I'm doing now here, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep this here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll then give 3. Just have to move it out to the right because time has elapsed. Like this. So I hope this makes sense. It should. It should make a lot of sense. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I truly don't think this is not a double top. and it doesn't even look like a double top from a form point of view. I mean, when you see a double top, you really need to see the peaks like this. You have to have some good symmetry. Okay? And this symmetry has to be put nicely. You could have some variation here. And this double top also portends very sizable major correction. And that's I have not observed that. I don't know what other analysts or eliticians or technical analysts are seeing. And like I said, I don't pay attention to anybody else's not because out of arrogance, not at all. It's because when I'm also human. When I see other people's analysis, I also get affected. I'm only human. And I don't want my analysis to be, my viewpoint and perceptions to be affected by anyone else's analysis except mine. So that then I can just act on my own analysis and that's it. So let's see what happens overnight. Now, if this support doesn't hold, next support is down here. Oops. But we'll see if that happens. Okay? Have a good night.